They say if you can't stand the heat, get your butt out the kitchen. Because right about now, I can tell you're ready to abort this mission. Because the pain has just about zapped all of your ambition. But see, right before you throw in the towel and go missing, that's when I step in and turn into your personal voice of reason, so I need you to listen. See, I'm that voice that's here to remind you that champions like you dig deep and power through. I'm that voice that's here to remind you that champions like you keep grinding until they achieve their major breakthrough. I'm that voice that's here to remind you that champions like you hustle hard like the renters do, because it is. See, champions like you are built to last. They use the pain and stains of the past as the fuel they need to stay gassed up, which allows them to mash up, smash up, and crash up any excuse any mere mortal will use to give up, go home, and snooze. But winners like you refuse to lose, and when life tries to mentally bully and bruise, you bob and weave, you stick and move. It's all systems go, all gas, no time for cruise control, because when the chips are down, you never lose control. See, it's a test of wheels now, and at times your life will try to abuse its control and tell you it's okay to throw in the towel, because it says I'm here to console you. But now is the time for you to make a bold move and resist the temptation to succumb to the lazy ways of the old you. Cause see, now is the time for you to reintroduce the old you to the new and improved you, and let the world see that confidence exudes you. And it would take the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines to remove you, because never ever again will you allow life to exclude you from the riches and spoils that come when you power through any and every situation and do what you gotta do to achieve what you are destined to achieve. Because you understand you gotta believe to receive. You understand you gotta believe to conceive. You understand you gotta believe to retrieve. You understand you gotta believe to exceed. And that's why you made the vow to live by a different creed. And before you succumb to defeat, you've already made the choice to bleed. And that's why you feed your spirit with the passion, will, and desire that it needs. See, you're cut from a different cloth, and in this day and age, you're a rare breed. For so long you were mentally enslaved and weak, but you broke the chains and freed yourself, and your newfound mental health has led you to a wealth of successes and blessings, magical moments that are impressing, and you power through all of your stale moments in life, and it's oh so refreshing. But just before the storm, everything seems calm. And at that very moment, you'll get hit with that bombshell. This is your test of will. Will you pass or will you fail? All of your fears you must expel, because you can, you will, and you must power through the smell, the sweet nectar of victory. So for anyone out there that's hearing me, I need you to remember, everything you need to succeed is already embedded in your soul. So please dig deep. And if that's not enough, then dig deeper. Keep fighting, bro. Keep fighting, sis.
Life is not like a football game. Life is not like a basketball game. Life is not sport. In sport, if you're losing when the clock stops, you've lost, you've failed. When time is up, when the buzzer sounds, you're either a winner or a loser. You try, and try again until you succeed. If you keep going, you haven't failed, it's just a prolonged victory. A better story, most people quit. That's why they call it failure. A better story, most people quit. That's why they call it failure. But really there's only you deciding to quit, you deciding to keep going, or you dying. There's no failure. You failed, you are not a failure. You failed, but it's not over. Keep going and show the world your character. But really there's only you deciding to quit, you deciding to keep going, or you dying. There's no failure. You failed, you are not a failure. You failed, but it's not over. Keep going and show the world your character. It sucks failing. No one loves failing while they are in the middle of it. But, if you're mentally strong, you will think to yourself, this will not stop me. There will be a place deep inside that knows, this is not the end of the story. You don't have to enjoy failure, just don't let it stop you. There will be a place deep inside that knows, this is not the end of the story. If the plan doesn't work, change the plan, but not the goal. Stay focused on what you want. It doesn't matter how you get there, it doesn't matter which path you take, just make sure you take one that gets to your goal. The very thing you are going through is preparing you for what you've asked for. You asked for character, and you're developing a great one. Keep going and get your rewards.
They will try to test you, But they fail to realize there's not 1 ounce of give up in your spirit. There's not 1 ounce of give up in your heart. There's not 1 ounce of give up in your soul. There's not 1 ounce of give up in your body. Baker Mayfield said, I woke up dangerous. But most people wake up aimless, with no sense of direction. But not you. You wake up every morning on fire, ready to crush your day, ready to crush excuses, ready to dominate in your lane, ready to execute your goals. You know life is coming. You know life is trying to sucker punch you. You know life wants to break you. You know life wants to beat you down. But instead of frown, you just smile, because you know there's not 1 ounce of give up in your soul. So you stand tall in the face of it all. Wipe the sweat from your brow and keep grinding because you will not be broken. You will not be moved. Like that tree that's planted by the water, you will not be moved. So you just hitting your stride, just getting into the groove. They thought they could break you, but there's not 1 ounce of give up in your body. And therefore, you keep running your race until you emerge victorious. And you understand that there will be moments when you want to throw in the towel. And that's when you tap into your inner greatness and go the extra mile. So every mile marker, you celebrate the small wins, because you understand that them small wins lead to the big wins, lead to the gold balls, lead to the trophies, lead to the rings, lead to the riches, lead to the spoils. And you will never, ever, ever allow one mere mortal to foil your plans of achieving next level success. So when it gets hard, you giggle. When it gets tough, you laugh, because you know the path to victory is paved with obstacles. It's paved with roadblocks. It's paved with uncertainties. But one thing is certain: your heart doesn't pump Kool-Aid. One thing that is certain: there is not 1 ounce of give up in your soul. There's not 1 ounce of give up in your heart. And so you keep fighting until the very end. You are your own biggest project, meaning you wake up every day trying to become the best version of yourself. It can be difficult at times, because your adversity is teaching. Your setbacks are teaching. Your failures are teaching. I just hope you're taking notes, because the journey to the next level starts with one single step. And there will be pitfalls, there will be roadblocks, there will be things that will try to stop you. The great Martin Luther King Jr. said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving. But by all means, keep improving. By all means, give every ounce of your heart, your soul, and being to keep proving the doubters, the haters, and naysayers wrong. Let me ask you a question. Why are you okay just fitting in when you were born to stand out? This is your life. So why are you okay settling for mediocre? Why are you okay settling for average? Why are you okay settling for common? Why are you okay settling for ordinary? I need you to go ahead and give that little bit of extra, because champions like you, because winners like you, because diamonds like you were born to be extraordinary. We're born to be phenomenal. We're born to be spectacular. It's your God-given right. It's in your DNA. So what, you had a setback? So what, you didn't make the team? So what, they didn't choose you? So what, you didn't get that job promotion? That should light a fire in you, that sparks emotion, that plants seeds that get you in motion to commit and have a never give up mentality and a devotion to greatness. And that greatness should lead you on a trail. That greatness should lead you on a trek. That greatness should lead you on a path to becoming the best version of yourself. You are an unbreakable force. No one can stop your momentum. So before you take your very last breath, you give every ounce of your soul to become the best version of yourself. The champion in you does live, but at times can be overshadowed by fear, self-doubt, laziness, or fatigue. Be it physical or mental, these factors can be detrimental. If your goal is to achieve record-breaking and monumental levels of success, I heard a great voice say, we're all created equal, but some work harder in the preseason, some work harder in the off-season, some work harder in the classroom, some work harder in the weight room, some work harder on their business plan, some work harder than most even in a shorter span of time, some work harder on their mental focus, some work harder just to make sure that the people who don't take notice and truly understand that no matter how hard they may think they are working, they will never ever work harder than them. And the grim reality is that most people are not masters. Most people don't run faster simply because they would rather be a party crasher, because it's far more easy to take it easy. But please believe me, to the victor goes the spoils, and true champions never leave the kitchen just because the water starts to boil. Meaning, they never run from the heat of the moment because they realize that it's their moment and they make the choice to own it. They live for the challenges that force their heart rate to increase because they feel if their competition is you, they either win or they must be deceased. Because giving up is not an option, and losing is not in their DNA. See, the anatomy of a champion starts in the heart, and it's the will, the passion, the grit, and desire that sets them apart. That boo-boo, boo-boo is distinct and in sync with those that are cut from the same cloth, that only accept victory and learn from any perceived loss, setback, or failure. If you don't have the heart of a champion, they can smell you from a mile away and sense that you're weak and attack you like a tiger. They're wired for success and will give every ounce of their being until they retire or expire, because on their inside burns a fire that is continuously ignited by their desire to hunt for greatness. You know the saying, true champions, and you never underestimate their heart. But don't sleep on their effort, because they hustle like they're always losing. If given the choice, they're always choosing to give more than the next. And that's why the sweat is in excess and they earn the right to flex, because they will run through a brick wall just to prove that they are the best, because they understand that you need the heart and the hustle from the beginning to the end. The heart and the hustle to push through and win. The heart and the hustle to realize your goals are achievable. The heart and the hustle to make the unbelievable believable. The impossible is possible when you combine the heart with the hustle. You put yourself in position to be unstoppable, blessed and highly favored, because you made the choice to make giving every ounce of your being your newly selected major. And you're never minor and whining, but you mastered the art of grinding, and the pressure of your dark days transformed you into a diamond that's now shining. And the timing was impeccable for you to sprout like a Brussels. And your favorite two words are give more, because you understand that to truly be great, it not only takes the heart, it also requires massive amounts of hustle.
Rise up, people. Rise up with a full heart. Rise up with an understanding. Rise up from the excuses. Rise up with the willpower. And understand that it's up to you to make a difference. Sometimes it gets tough. Sometimes you get to a point where you don't want to push yourself. Pushing the world is just a part of it. And sometimes the world can be very nasty. It can put you in a position where you don't understand what to do next. But I'm here to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, everything starts with you. Everything necessarily is not about you, but it definitely starts with you. If you're not willing to put the work in, if you're not willing to go a little bit higher, a little bit further, and understanding that work is good, prosperity is good, success is good, life is good, but these excuses always tend to show up in your life. This thing that you continue to hold on, this pity party that you continue to possess in your life tends to hold you back. But what are you going to do? You're going to have to suffer sometime in your life. You're going to have to feel something sometime in your life. Why is it every time you wake up, you want to have something handed to you? Why can't you earn it yourself? Why do you feel like everybody owes you something? It starts with you. You got to be the one that wants it. You got to be the one to go after it. You got to be the one to go further. You got to be the one to hurt just a little bit. So what? Maybe you don't like the situation you're in. Maybe you don't like the circumstances you're in. Then what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? You're going to cry? You're going to wallow around, hope that somebody come rescue you from all of these things that you are dealing with in your life right now? You feel that everybody in the world is feeling sorry for you right now? You feel like everybody in the world owes you something? No one owes you anything. No one. You better start doing something. You better start doing something now. That's how it goes. That's what it is. That's the reality. Not sitting around hoping somebody to come and help you, hoping that somebody gonna put their arms around you and tell you it's gonna be okay. You gotta make it okay. In fact, you gotta make it better than okay. You got to go beyond. You got to go up. You got to go up those stairs. You got to go up that mountain. You got to do whatever it is that's gonna take to make you strong and better and more efficient. That's what you got to do. Whatever it takes. Whatever the know-how you have inside. Don't let nothing, and I mean nothing, stop you. Nothing under the sun can control what's yours. Nothing under the sun can control what's already been written for you. You just got to keep going up. So rise up every step. Rise up every opportunity. Rise up. When it gets higher, you get higher mentally. Rise up. You make it to the top. And when there's nothing else left to go up to, find something else to climb up. And yeah, you're gonna fall. Yeah, you're gonna stumble. Yeah, there's gonna be some mistakes on the way. It doesn't mean that it's over. It means you got to keep living. It means you got to keep going. It means you got to keep believing and finding and go after it. Because success is not looking for you. Success ain't coming for you. You got to be the one to go after it. Choice is up to you. Make it happen and conduct your business.
You're still here. And you get another chance this day to do better and be better. Another chance to become more of who you were created and what you were created to fulfill.
Everyone in the world is capable of living outside the role or beyond the roles that they place themselves in, no matter what it is. You're not just a dad, you're not just a banker, you're not just a brother or a son or a convict. It doesn't matter. Like, everyone is bigger, much bigger, infinitely bigger than the roles they place themselves in, and is capable of reaching potential greater than anything they could imagine.
You can live the life you desire. It's right there in front of you. But in order to achieve it, you must first see it, then believe it, and then you must graciously ask and train your brain to help you execute your vision.
So when you start to focus and you delete distraction from your life, and you start to get seriously invested in doing one thing staggeringly well, and you practice that one thing over and over, a term to think about is mundanity. You do one simple, seemingly insignificant thing every day around your main skill, and it's very mundane, but small daily improvements over time lead to world-class results. Well, here's what happens in your brain. You start to isolate a single neurocircuit around that skill, and that starts to trigger a certain type of brain cell called an oligodendrocyte, which then releases myelin. Myelin is a fatty tissue that starts to wrap around that single neurocircuit related to that main skill you've been practicing. And when myelin starts to wrap around the brain circuit, what happens is you have accelerated learning times, you can see more quickly, heightened perception, and you'll learn more quickly. And that is really the quote-unquote secret of the great producers. It's not a result of some natural gift, but their daily practice, their relentlessness and their grit, their work ethic, and their singular focus and sacrifice. A great life is built not by revolution. A great life is built by evolution. Small and steady wins the race. What you do every day is far more important than what you do once every decade. I want you to really think about that idea. What you do every day is simply your life in miniature. And as you live every single day, so you're crafting your life. What you do over the next hours is really building your future. And if you can just get every single pocket of 24 hours right as best as we humanly can, the rest of our life is going to take care of itself. So small wins matter.
The scripture says we will eat the fruit of our words. You are planting seeds when you talk. At some point, you're going to eat that fruit. My challenge is make sure you're planting the right kind of seeds. If you want apples, you have to sow apple seeds. If you want oranges, you can't plant cactus seeds, poison ivy seeds, mushroom seeds. You're going to reap fruit from the exact seeds that you've been sowing. In other words, you can't talk negative and expect to live a positive life. You can't talk defeat and expect to have victory. You can't talk lack, not enough, can't afford it, never get ahead, and expect to have abundance. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. If you don't like what you're seeing, start sowing some different seeds. We may not realize it, but we're always feeding ourselves. What we watch, listen to, the people we're around, the thoughts we're dwelling on, that's feeding our inner man. If you go to lunch with people that talk bad about the boss, make fun of a coworker, put down a friend, they're feeding you gossip, feeding you jealousy, feeding you disrespect. Here's the key. Whatever you feed is going to grow. You may not like what they're feeding you. You're a nice person. But if you continue to hang around them, before long, you'll be gossiping. You'll be critical. You'll be disrespectful. Why? Because you kept feeding the wrong things. If you're always feeding negative thoughts, thinking, I'll never get well, I'll never meet the right person, you're feeding doubt, feeding mediocrity, feeding fear.
If you know exactly what you want to be, you need to spend as much time with people that are actually that already. You cannot let a fear of failure, or a fear of comparison, or a fear of judgment stop you from doing what's going to make you great. You cannot succeed without this risk of failure. You cannot have a voice without the risk of criticism. And you cannot love without the risk of loss. You must go out and you must take these risks.
You don't have the time to waste time, because time doesn't wait till you discover your purpose. If you don't know why you was born, time is still moving. And if you discover your purpose at 90 years old, it's too late.
You don't know how young you are. What if you die in 2 years? You're pretty old right now. You got 2 years left. And if you're 50 years old and you're feeling discouraged, well, remember the advice about planting a tree. When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago or today? So if you're 50 and you feel like life left you behind, well, get started right now. Better late than never. Better late than never. Don't think about time and age so much. It gets people distracted. When the whole world's distracted, you be focused.
You have to trust your own voice, your own ideas, your honesty, your vulnerability, and through this you will find your way. You do not have to be fearless. Just don't let fear stop you. Live like this as best you can, and I guarantee you will look back on a life well lived. You are capable of greatness in your profession, and more importantly, in your quality of self. Stay hungry. Stay young at heart. Take those risks. You are going to change the world around you in big ways and in small.
But see, anybody, if you want to, can go searching for a good plan, pick it, and start working it. And sure enough, as the time passes, as it surely will 5 years from now, 10 years from now, then you'll be winding up wearing what you want to wear, driving what you want to drive, living where you want to live, become what you want to become. But now's the time to fix the next 10 years. And who can? Anybody.
You were created to give life and make a difference with your gift somewhere. That's why you came to this place.
You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. You initiate the action aggressively. You go.
The volcano of your life has been lying dormant for far too long. It's go time. It's time to eliminate distraction and activate action. Your time is now. So I need you to rise up. Stop contemplating. Stop overthinking. Get started. It's go time, baby. In other words, it's show time. Time for you to show and prove. Time for you to step out of your comfort zone. It's time for you to jump. It's time for you to leap. To put yourself in a position to land softly on your bed of dreams. Stop waiting for things to happen. Go out and make them happen. Stop wishing. Start doing. Stop standing. Start moving. You got a gift to share with this world. You got a dream. But your dream will never become a reality if you keep sleeping. And if you're winning in your game of life, wake up every day like you losing by 20. It's go time. It's show time. It's show time. So give some more time to execution. Give some more time to taking your problem and figuring out a solution. And if you didn't figure out what I'm talking about, in the hood, we take more and we say more. So right about now, I need you to give me a little bit more effort. I need you to give me a little bit more heart. I need you to give me a little bit more passion. No, let me rephrase that. I need you to give you a little bit more effort. I need you to give you a little bit more heart. I need you to give you a little bit more passion. The time is now for you to take action. Oh yeah, you talk a big game, but when the lights come on and it's really go time and it's really show time, what is your heart pumping? Is your heart pumping Kool-Aid? Do you stand tall? Or are you afraid of the big moment? The lights are bright. The game is on the line. The situation is intense. The crowd is cheering. Are you a man? Are you a woman? Or are you a mouse? Do you show up big time? Or do you hide over in a corner and wait for somebody else to accept the challenge? Right now, I'm challenging you. It's go time. I need you to show up. I need you to show out. It's your time. I need you to go take it. Show this world what you made of. Let your light shine. It's go time.
Start strong, finish strong. Wolf is always scratching. Let's roll. Up at 3:45 a.m., cardio by 4:45 a.m., hitting the iron by 6:15 a.m., in my pickup truck by 7:15 a.m., heading to work, ready to get after it, ready to shoot. There's no substitute for hard work. I'm gonna make something out of myself, and it's gonna be so good, it's bad. Instead of telling you what I think you should be doing, or how you could be better, or I thought, well, let me just speak from the heart, speak from my gut, and really not have anything prepared, but just tell you what's worked for me. And maybe some of the stuff that's worked for me might work for you now, currently, presently, as you guys have your goals and ambitions, but then further on down the line, as you guys continue to live your life. This idea and this notion that you could be anything you want, and you can accomplish anything you want, right? We hear that. You've heard that from the time you were little boys. You hear that now. You're already incredibly accomplished. You guys know that. The thing that has worked for me is to remember the hard times. So, and I'm sure you guys all have your processes, and again, I'm gonna tell you what's worked for me. So before a big movie comes out, before, back in the days when I was wrestling with WWE, a WrestleMania match, anything big that would happen, I would always take a moment and I'd just remind myself, all right, I was evicted when I was 14. We were kicked off the island. We couldn't live in Hawaii. Had no place to live. A lot of shit happened then when I moved to Nashville. I was arrested multiple times by the time I was 16 years old. I would remember that, and it allows me then to be present in the moment and understand, holy, the stuff I have around me right now, this is the shit that I dreamed of when I was a kid. I am here. I played for University of Miami, played for great teams. Warren Sapp, Ray Lewis, they were my teammates. They were balling. Warren Sapp was playing tight end that time. I was starting defensive tackle. Yeah, they moved him over to D-line. And he looked at me, he's like, yo, dude, I'm gonna take your spot. And I said, you ain't taking my spot. He said, I'm gonna take your spot. I said, no, you ain't. We battled, and he took my spot. Now you can imagine how that with me, because there goes my opportunity. He went in, switched to defensive tackle, lit the world on fire. Well, what that did, it crushed me, it crushed my dreams. I had a piss poor senior year, zero production, no NFL, no combine invite, nothing. Finally went to the CFL, Calgary Stampeders, making $250 a week Canadian. Now I had to send that home to my wife at that time. Had no money. So I remember that. When I got cut from Canada, my dad in his pickup truck came down 4 o'clock in the morning, picked me up at in Miami from Tampa. We lived in a little apartment in Tampa. He drove down in his little pickup truck to Miami to get me when I was cut from the CFL. And I thought, well, I leave home like you guys left home. I'm ready to tackle the world, to get after it, achieve my dreams and goals. Crushed by 22, 23 years old. Now I got to move back in with my mom and dad. I played on great teams, though. Wait a second, this is not supposed to be my future. I'm supposed to be in the NFL right now. I'm supposed to be making a lot of coin and buying my parents, buying me, taking care of my wife, but it never happened. So I pulled out my wallet. I thought, well, let me see how much money I have. I opened it up. I had a 5, a 1, and change. Well, at least I rounded up to $7. But I thought, God, ain't this a bitch? I got $7 in my pocket. Where the f do I go now? What do I do? I can't go back to CFL. The point comes where you hear that voice, the big run's over. Like, you're done, right? So I heard that voice. So as Coach was saying, man, I hold on to that. I'm telling you, I keep my back is up against this mother. We laugh, we joke, we have a good time, but my back is still up against this mother. I do not forget it. What this also helps me do, and again, it works for me, is at some point, you gotta be tired of not being number one. You have to be, and you gotta play angry, and I play angry. Now, I'm cool and calm with my approach, and when I step out on my field, which is a set, or, you know, like, there's some, and you're always gonna have haters, and haters are like, well, God damn, man, how many movies are you gonna make, or how much shit are you gonna do? Like, you do a lot of shit. I say, yes, it's my ambition. Of course, why not? I could do it. Yeah, I love what I do. And not only that, but in what world do we not work every day? My back is up against this thing, you know, and I started to play angry, by the way, and I still play angry. My last match, Brock Lesnar, transitioned, and I realized if I had to be great at something, I wanted to be great in this world of Hollywood and movie making and producing and entertainment, I had to commit. And like you guys have to commit. Obviously, you commit to something, commit to the goal. So I quietly retired. 2 years later, I thought, what did I do with my career? Because my movies were not doing well. I was written off. I was like, it was around 2006, 2007. I was like, I left, I pulled a Jim Brown. I left when I was on top, like number one in the wrestling business, and I left. It was a ballsy, gutsy, some call it stupid move. But I had to commit and I had to follow what was in my gut. What helps me is to keep the hard times in the front of my mind because it allows me to go into these big moments that I've worked my ass off and you guys have worked your ass off. It allows me to go into these big moments with a different perspective. What it also does for me, and again, this is what works for me. Like, my back is up against this mother every day. It's against this wall. But it's up against this mother because it's what I believe in. And when my back is against this mother, then there's nowhere to go.
I was always like the tall girl and the strong girl. Like I was different from other girls and I was always really jealous. I wish I could be like them. Girls weren't supposed to be red at their face and weren't supposed to like work hard at gym. It was just a guy's time. That's how I felt. Like girls should always be pretty and skinny and shouldn't be that strong. So I think I was just embarrassed of who I was and trying to be something else. And that just took my self-esteem away. I started training in a global gym in 2013, so there was no pull-up bar or muscle-up like rings or anything like that. So I had to, like, my dad helped me build this to practice that. But we didn't have a pull-up bar, so my dad just hung them up the other day, but we had rings over there. Everything that I'm doing now is what I've never done before. And that's what's hard. It's like trusting that my body still remembers everything else. Like, I don't do any CrossFit at all right now. Nobody ever expected me to make it to the games, I think. I mean, my first year at regionals, I got disqualified the first day. So, people never expected anything from me. And I always wanted to prove what I could do. And I finally did that 2015. found out a lot of weaknesses in 2014 and worked on them. I'm so hungry for it. So hungry. I love challenges, and this is just one of those challenges that I have to climb over to make it to the top. That's how it is. I'm so hungry for it. So hungry.
Come on. Finish it, Sarah, finish it.
Ég alltaf hrædd að mistakast, en ekki nóg hrædd til að gefast upp.
The sweetest success in life comes when you find the strength to overcome all the stress and all the strife. See, life will cut you like a knife, but you were made to heal from your wounds. You were made to stand strong in the face of monsoons and typhoons. You were made to shoot for the stars and reach for the moon. You were made to be special and unique. So it's okay if you dance to a different tune. It's okay if you see things different than others. It's okay if you eliminate people from your circle when they show you their true colors. It's okay if you make mistakes along the way, as long as you retain the wisdom. Because champions like you own their mistakes and never ever play the victim. See, victory requires countless hours of preparation, heart, and dedication. Cause it's the will, passion, and desire that creates that separation. And that's why you never fizzle, but always sizzle like bacon. Cause you're so hot that you're blazing. And after all the pain that you overcame, you truly deserve to be raising your arms up as a champion. Because the champion in you never let you stop. The champion in you knew you were exhausted, but would never let you drop. The champion in you wouldn't let you run from the messes in your life. It simply made you go get a mop. See, if you make your mind believe, I promise your body will follow. Cause to tap into your greatness, your inside can never be hollow. You can't be soft. You gotta be hard like the shell of a taco. Because the sour taste of failure can be a hard pill to swallow. But it's necessary, and only those that are mentally tough can power through the rigors of setback and stomach the harsh reality of defeat, fall down again and again, and continuously get back up and dust off the loss. Oops, my bad. We never lose. Champions learn from it, get determined and burn from it, because they know if they never quit, the day will come when they can earn from it. And that's why they always grind and churn from it, because the thought of next level success gives them all the fuel they need, and that's what makes them yearn from it. See, the champion in you is begging to be released from his cage. The champion in you is ready to shine and take center stage. The champion in you is locked in, engaged, and ready to help you make the necessary adjustments and turn that page. The champion in you is here to force you to overcome all your fear and be brave, because your inner warrior knows that the uncomfort of the day leads to the relaxing comfort of tomorrow. And success cannot be borrowed, it must be purchased. And that means there's very little time for whiny poos, woe is me, or sorrow. It's execute and grind time. The champion in you will never let you make excuses. It will force you to find time, which leads to massive success. Sunny skies and shine time. This is a great day. The late, great Zig Ziglar said, "You were designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seeds of greatness." Do you believe that in your heart of hearts? Because I do. The next level awaits. But first and foremost, you gotta believe in you. You have to understand that you were born with a gift to share with this world. But right now, I sense that the negative self-talk is dominating in your mental space. I sense that the negative self-talk is dominating in your mental realm. I sense that the negative self-talk is dominating your inner being. But what you fail to realize is you have the power to change your mindset and flip that negative into a positive and boot those negative demons out of your mental. You have something special in you. Greatness is inside of you. So what I need you to do is surround yourself with dreamers. Surround yourself with the doers. Surround yourself with the believers. Surround yourself with the thinkers. But most of all, surround yourself with those who see the greatness within you. The legendary Les Brown said, greatness is within you, and it's your responsibility to manifest that greatness and bring it to life. So what you gonna do, bro? What you gonna do, sis? The time is now. Your time is now. Can't you see? You were meant for greatness. You were born to be phenomenal. You were made to be spectacular. And everything that you need to go to that next level, it's already deep inside of you. It's lying dormant. You have to bring it to life. You have to grant permission for that inner volcano to erupt. Boom! This is your life. This is your time. And you hot like that lava. You on fire, but you gotta believe it. You gotta make it come to life. You gotta bring it into fruition. You were endowed with the seeds of greatness. Greatness is within you, but do you believe it? Greatness is within you, but do you receive it? Greatness is within you, but will you take the necessary action steps to achieve it? I heard a wise man say, why hide your talent in a closet of complacency when you have greatness within?
If you're going to be a bodybuilder, you have to have the mindset where you don't mind people looking at you strangely. Because, let's face it, a bodybuilder looks different. You can be a world champion tennis player. You can be a world champion lacrosse player. And you can still, when you put clothes on, you look normal. You can't be a world champion bodybuilder and look normal. With clothes or without, you're different. Because bodybuilding is about freaks. Being as big as you are? And I'm like, well, yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't bust my ass every time I'm in the gym. Because I have to keep the size. To hold, to be big, to be hard, to be muscular. You have to train really hard to hold that muscle. People think you just like overnight, it's just boom, you wake up and it's there. It doesn't happen. You have to want it so bad that you work and you dedicate, and every moment you're thinking about how am I going to get bigger, how am I going to, you know, it's such a lifestyle, it's such an intense lifestyle.
They told you that you couldn't do it. They laughed in your face. They teased you. They ridiculed you. They had absolutely no confidence in your ability. Absolutely no confidence that you could get your job done. Absolutely no confidence that you could succeed. Now that's what I call fuel. One of the greatest pleasures in life is doing what people say you cannot do. This is just a little fuel for your hustle. Because there will be haters, doubters, non-believers, and then there will be you doing everything that you can to prove them wrong, doing everything to show them why you can succeed. My bad. Doing everything to show them why you will succeed. Extra work, staying up late, waking up early, doing more than the average person will do on any given day. Because in the back of your head, you hear that voice saying you can't do it. In the back of your head, you hear that voice saying you don't have what it takes. In the back of your head, you hear that voice saying you're not good enough. And that's what gasses me up. That should gas you up. It should make you go hard. No. It should make you go twice as hard. No. It should make you go 3 times as hard. And when you on that last rep, when you on that last set, when you need to make that last call, when you need to spend 1 more hour studying, when you need to do things that your body is saying, I don't feel like doing anymore. Do it anyway. Because they will doubt you. Because they did doubt you. Because they do doubt you. But you never doubted yourself. 1 more rep. 1 more set. 1 more call, 1 more email, 1 more study session. Just read 1 more page, take 1 more note, just write 1 more sentence. You got a story to tell, you got a book in you, you got a goal to reach. You got a doubter to prove wrong, you got a hater to prove wrong. You got a you to prove right. Success is making the doubter in them. Success is making the doubter in you believe in you. This is just a little fuel for your hustle. When no one thinks you can, then you have to. The great Michael Phelps said, there will be obstacles, there will be doubters, there will be mistakes. But with hard work, there are no limits. So remove your limited doubts, remove your limited beliefs, remove what they say, block out the noise. It goes in one ear and right out the other when they're talking that yin-yang, when they're talking that hate, when they're talking that negativity, when they're trying to put that negative spirit of losing, that negative spirit of failure on you. Absolutely not. You will not accept their thought process of failure in you. Because there is a champion that's living inside of you. That's been caged up. That's been locked up for so long. And it's begging to be released. It's begging to be unleashed to the world. This is that fuel for your hustle. Because you are 100% capable of massive success. They will try to test you, but they fail to realize there's not 1 ounce of give up in your spirit. There's not 1 ounce of give up in your heart. There's not 1 ounce of give up in your soul. There's not 1 ounce of give up in your body. Baker Mayfield said, I woke up dangerous. But most people wake up aimless with no sense of direction. But not you. You wake up every morning on fire, ready to crush your day, ready to crush excuses, ready to dominate in your lane, ready to execute your goals. You know life is coming. You know life is trying to sucker punch you. You know life wants to break you. You know life wants to beat you down. But instead of frown, you just smile. Because you know there's not 1 ounce of give up in your soul. So you stand tall in the face of it all. Wipe the sweat from your brow. And keep grinding because you will not be broken. You will not be moved. Like that tree that's planted by the water, you will not be moved. So you just hitting your stride, just getting into the groove. They thought they could break you, but there's not 1 ounce of give up in your body. And therefore, you keep running your race until you emerge victorious. And you understand that there will be moments when you want to throw in the towel. And that's when you tap into your inner greatness and go the extra mile. So every mile marker, you celebrate the small wins. Because you understand that them small wins lead to the big wins. Lead to the gold balls, lead to the trophies, lead to the rings, lead to the riches, lead to the spoils, and you will never, ever, ever allow one mere mortal to foil your plans of achieving next level success. So when it gets hard, you giggle. When it gets tough, you laugh. Because you know the path to victory is paved with obstacles. It's paved with roadblocks. It's paved with uncertainties. But one thing is certain. Your heart doesn't pump Kool-Aid. One thing that is certain. There is not 1 ounce of give up in your soul. There's not 1 ounce of give up in your heart. And so you keep fighting until the very end.
Hope goes a long way to somebody who has none. I've seen it. Hope. That's what this lifestyle does. It gives you hope. You're stronger than you've ever been in years. That's hope. And who doesn't want to continue doing what makes them feel amazing after they thought they were over the hill? That's what this lifestyle does. Hope. Neurofibromatosis is the disease I was born with. Most people hear it referred to as NF1 or NF2. And what NF does is it causes tumors to spontaneously form along your peripheral nerves, anywhere in your body without notice. My doctor basically told me that I'd be blind by 18. This would probably lead to cancer. Don't look for too much in life. NF people develop slower than other people. They kind of set me up to don't expect too much from my life. After she died, you know, my life took, a downward spiral that most don't come back from. I dropped out of school. I joined the street gang. I started selling drugs. I did everything you're not supposed to do. So how I would deal with my mother's death is I would get a pile of drugs and get obliterated just to numb the pain, to get through those few days. But I'm in a better place, and it's because of this lifestyle. So for 35 years, I've watched the NF community battle our disease. And there's no success. There's no thrivers. We have survivors, But surviving to me, you can be plugged into a machine on life support. You survived. Thriving means that you got sick and you came out the other side better than you did when you went in. That's what I wanted. And if I couldn't have that, I didn't even want to subject myself to what everybody else did. So what I did is told myself, when it's your turn to fight cancer, you're not going to do anything that everybody else did because you have nothing to lose. So when I got diagnosed, they basically said, you're done. Nobody in history has, lived with this type of diagnosis. And you should probably get your affairs in order because 6 months is what you're looking at. And that broke me for about 3 minutes. To sum it up, I had to give up everything I loved, meat, dairy, yeast, and sugar, and had to learn how to love things that taste like dirt for the first 4 weeks of one's transition. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that if you decide to do this, it's not gonna be turbulent in the beginning. It's probably the most difficult decision I have ever made in my life. Going from a 10,000 calorie diet to maybe a 4,500 calorie diet that is all plants, seeds, beans, and cruciferous vegetables. You never could have told Meathead that he would be reduced to eating boiled nuts for the rest of his life. So that's about an 18-inch bicep that has no meat in it, has no dairy in it, has no sugar in it, and there's no bread in it. All that this is pine nuts. All the plant-based lifestyle does is detox the 20, 30, 40 years of reckless lifestyle behavior and return you to a younger state. The only reason I'm here today is because of my new mindset. What does that mean? That means that I've removed all negative people, places, and things from my space. My fitness, which is training to live, which is a mindset as well. Where I get up every morning, even if I don't feel like training, and I never feel like training because I'm in pain 24 hours a day. But I don't have an option to not train because all we know is 6 years ago, this was my care plan and I'm here almost 7 years later. And then you have the nutrition component. And that's one of the most important components. And that's what these plants and these phytonutrients do in your blood to fight free radicals and keep the cancer at bay, keep it happy. Without those three things firing at the same time, I do not exist and I would not be here, and I can't reiterate that enough. Fitness, nutrition, positive mindset over everything. Fitness, nutrition, and positive energy. This journey has showed me that man is not in control, okay? Because I was given 6 months to live in January 2012. I am in the best shape of my life. I turned 42 in a few months. And that's because everything is possible. Everything is possible through the plant-based lifestyle. Everything is possible through positive energy. Everything is possible when you put out what you want to get back. I truly believe that with every fiber in my being, that if you put your mind to it and your heart and intention is righteous, it can happen for you. I've been all the way down before cancer. I come from absolutely nothing. And I stand before you in the best shape of my life, and this journey has took me around the world twice, saving lives. You're not gonna tell me about possibilities. I'm what it looks like. I've spoke in a jail and I've spoke in Congress. It doesn't matter. Everything is possible for everybody, and I'm the proof.